Hello friends, have you ever wondered if your pet was written in the stars? What if the perfect furry, or maybe even scaly, companion for you isn't just about personal preference, but about astrology? Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of zodiac signs to uncover the ideal pet for each one. Because let's be honest, choosing a pet is almost like choosing a soulmate, and the stars might already have your answer. So, let's explore, sign by sign. Aries, March 21st to April 19th. Bold, energetic, and always on the go. Aries needs a pet that can keep up with their adventurous lifestyle. A high-energy dog like a Border Collie or a Jack Russell Terrier is perfect. These dogs match Aries' enthusiasm and love for spontaneous activities. If you're an Aries, think of it this way. Would you really be happy with a couch potato pet? Didn't think so. Aries, as the very first sign of the zodiac, is born with a natural spark that drives them to live life in constant forward motion. They're not just energetic, they're ruled by Mars, the planet of action, passion, and drive. This makes Aries people fearless trailblazers who rarely sit still. In fact, to be an Aries is to crave excitement, adventure, and stimulation on a nearly daily basis. Their ideal pet has to not only tolerate this fiery energy but also thrive within it. That's why high-energy dogs like Border Collies or Jack Russells are the ultimate companions. They're not simply pets for Aries, they're co-adventurers, teammates, and kindred spirits in motion. Think of the Aries lifestyle. Waking up early with a sudden burst of energy, grabbing running shoes without even planning it, and heading outdoors just because the sunrise looks like a challenge waiting to be conquered. Now, imagine this fiery soul paired with a Border Collie, alert, sharp, almost reading their owner's mind before the leash is even clipped on. The dog is already bouncing, ready for a long run, a hike, or an agility challenge. It's not just exercise, it's an expression of the Aries way of life. Jack Russells, on the other hand, are tiny packages of dynamite, stubborn, bold, and endlessly playful. They reflect Aries' competitive streak. Aries doesn't just walk a dog like this, they engage in games, contests, and challenges. Who can run faster? Who can catch the frisbee first? Who's more determined to win tug of war? For Aries, these playful competitions aren't trivial, they're a way of expressing love. The beauty of this dynamic is that Aries and their chosen dog don't simply share time together, they push each other to greater heights. An Aries who might otherwise burn out from their own energy finds a grounding partner in a dog that matches their stamina and never lets them slow down. Conversely, the dog thrives because it finally has an owner who understands its need for constant activity. But there's more beneath the surface. Aries is often seen as impatient, impulsive, and quick to act without thinking things through. These traits, though sometimes challenging in relationships, become assets when paired with a high-energy pet. A Jack Russell or Border Collie doesn't want endless patience. They want spontaneity, action, and someone bold enough to embrace their quirks. Aries provides this naturally. They'll laugh when their terrier gets muddy, chase after their collie with determination, and see every mishap as part of the adventure. Now, imagine the opposite scenario. An Aries stuck with a slow, sleepy cat that barely moves all day. Within a week, the Aries would be pacing, restless, feeling like their energy was trapped in a cage. The cat, meanwhile, would probably be annoyed by the constant interruptions. It's a mismatch of cosmic proportions. Aries doesn't just want activity, they need it. Their pet should be a living reflection of their fire, not a damp blanket on it. That's why for Aries, the right pet becomes more than just a companion. It's a partner in crime, a wingman for hikes, jogs, road trips, and playful chaos. Together, Aries and their dog turn everyday life into a quest, a story filled with laughter, mischief, and endless discovery. Because for Aries, happiness isn't found in sitting still, it's found in motion, and the right pet ensures that motion never stops. And now, a little side note. If you'd like to support the channel, there's a thanks button right under this video. Your support truly helps me keep creating. And of course, if you enjoy the content, please leave a like and subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. Thank you so much for being here. Now, let's continue. Taurus April 20th to May 20th. Taurus craves comfort, loyalty, and stability. That's why the ultimate pet for them is a calm, affectionate cat, like a Persian or a British Shorthair. These cats love lounging in cozy spaces, just like Taurus loves a soft blanket and a good meal. Imagine sipping tea with your cat curled up beside you. That's Taurus heaven. Where Aries is fire, Taurus is earth. And earth needs grounding, roots, and a sense of stability. A Taurus values routines, comfort, and everything that makes a home feel like a sanctuary. Ruled by Venus, the planet of beauty and sensual pleasure, Taurus lives to indulge the senses: good food, soft fabrics, warm lighting, soothing music. Their ideal pet has to complement this lifestyle, not disrupt it. That's why the calm, affectionate nature of cats like Persians and British Shorthairs fits seamlessly into the Taurus world. Imagine a Taurus evening. The house is quiet, a candle flickers on the table, the aroma of a home-cooked meal lingers in the air, and on the sofa sits Taurus, wrapped in a blanket with a beloved cat curled against their side. The rhythmic hum of the cat's purring blends into the silence like background music, grounding Taurus even deeper into their moment of peace. This is not just a simple evening, it's an embodiment of everything Taurus values most: stability, beauty, and comfort. Persian cats, with their luxurious fur and dignified presence, appeal to Taurus's love of beauty and softness. Grooming such a cat becomes an act of meditation, an extension of Taurus's appreciation for tactile sensations. Meanwhile, the British Shorthair, sturdy and affectionate yet independent, mirrors Taurus's balance of loyalty and self-sufficiency. These cats don't demand chaos, they offer companionship that feels steady and dependable. Taurus is known for their patience and loyalty, qualities that are reflected in the way they care for their pets. They don't mind a pet that requires routine feeding, brushing, or quiet companionship, because these daily rituals enhance their sense of order and consistency. A Taurus will happily adjust their schedule around their cat's needs, and in return, they receive a bond built on mutual respect and trust. There's also a deep emotional reason cats suit Taurus so well. Unlike Aries, who thrives on action, Taurus thrives on presence. They want a pet that isn't constantly bouncing around, but one that simply exists beside them in harmony. The quiet weight of a cat on their lap is more meaningful than a dozen energetic games of fetch. It's not about activity, it's about intimacy. And let's not forget Taurus's love of aesthetics. A Persian cat sitting regally on a velvet cushion isn't just a pet. It's part of the home's beauty, a living piece of art that Taurus admires daily. Every whisker, every soft movement, feels like a small luxury. And for Taurus, luxury isn't excessive, it's essential. It's how they connect to life's pleasures. Could Taurus manage with a hyper dog that needs constant stimulation? Technically, yes, but would it make them happy? Absolutely not. The endless barking, running, and chaos would disrupt their peace, leaving them exhausted instead of fulfilled. That's why cats, especially affectionate but calm breeds, are cosmic perfection for Taurus. In the end, Taurus's heaven isn't found in thrill-seeking adventures or restless exploration. It's found in quiet moments, in a soft couch, a warm drink, and the steady companionship of a pet that teaches them the beauty of stillness. For Taurus, the right cat doesn't just share their home, it shares their soul's rhythm. And when they sit together, human and feline, the world outside can wait. Gemini, May 21st to June 20th. Curious, talkative, and easily bored, Gemini needs a pet that can engage their mind. Birds, especially parrots or cockatiels, are perfect matches. They're playful, vocal, and intelligent enough to keep Gemini entertained. Picture this: a Gemini chatting with their parrot, and the parrot actually talking back. That's the dream. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, wit, and adaptability. This alone tells us why a Gemini cannot settle for an ordinary pet that just sits quietly in the corner. A still, silent creature would feel like an unfinished conversation to them, a void waiting to be filled with words, laughter, and interaction. Geminis are born communicators. They thrive on dialogue, banter, exchange, and mental stimulation. Their restless energy makes them easily bored, so they need a pet that not only keeps pace with them but actively participates in the kind of lively, interactive dynamic that feeds their soul. That's why birds, particularly parrots and cockatiels, are such perfect companions. These feathered friends aren't just pets. They're conversational partners, comedians, and entertainers rolled into one. Imagine a Gemini waking up in the morning, already brimming with thoughts about the day ahead. Before they even pour a cup of coffee, their parrot greets them with a cheerful phrase it picked up, maybe something funny Gemini said the week before. Instantly, the morning transforms from ordinary to extraordinary, a blend of humor and connection that sets the tone for the day. For Gemini, this is everything. They don't just want company, they want interaction, and parrots are among the few pets capable of giving it back in a way that feels almost human. But parrots and cockatiels go beyond mimicry. They're intelligent, playful, and endlessly curious, just like Gemini. They require stimulation, puzzles, training, and engagement, and that matches Gemini's need for variety. A Gemini who spends their afternoon teaching a parrot new words or tricks is not only keeping their bird entertained, they're keeping themselves entertained, too. It's a two-way exchange of energy that grows deeper the more time they invest. The parrot thrives because it has a talkative, inventive owner, and Gemini thrives because they have a pet that actually feels like a co-conspirator in life's little dramas. The relationship between Gemini and their feathered pet isn't static, it evolves constantly. One day, it's a playful chatter about the weather. Another day, it's laughter as the cockatiel whistles back the ringtone of Gemini's phone. Over time, the pet becomes woven into the fabric of Gemini's communication style. Friends who visit may find themselves greeted by the bird, and Gemini delights in showing off this quirky, interactive companion. After all, Geminis love to entertain, and a witty parrot perched on their shoulder is the ultimate conversation starter. Now imagine the alternative, a Gemini with a goldfish. At first, the fish might intrigue them, the swirling colors of its scales catching their eye. But within a week, the Gemini's sharp, busy mind would start to wander. That's it, that's all it does, swim in circles? They'd feel unfulfilled, unsatisfied, like a brilliant debate cut off mid-sentence. For Gemini, silence is not golden, it's unbearable. They crave a spark, a back and forth, a constant reminder that the world is alive and responding to them. Birds, in all their vocal, social brilliance, fill this need perfectly. They aren't just background noise, they're participants. Their mimicry, intelligence, and unique personalities ensure that no 2 days are ever the same. And for Gemini, who can't stand repetition, that's everything. To them, a parrot is more than a pet. It's a companion who speaks their language, literally. So picture it again. Gemini lounging on the couch, telling a story out loud just to themselves, and the parrot suddenly interjects with a perfectly timed phrase. The Gemini bursts into laughter, delighted that even in solitude, they're never truly alone. For Gemini, this isn't just the dream. This is destiny. Cancer, June 21st to July 22nd. Sensitive, nurturing, and family-oriented. Cancer thrives with a pet that feels like a baby to care for. A gentle dog like a Labrador Retriever or even a cuddly bunny would be perfect. Cancers want something they can pour their emotions into, and nothing melts a Cancer's heart like floppy ears and soft fur. Cancer is ruled by the moon, the celestial body that governs emotions, intuition, and the tides of the heart. This makes Cancers among the most tender, nurturing, and protective signs in the zodiac. They are natural caregivers, the people who instinctively cook for others, check in when someone is hurting, and offer comfort when the world feels overwhelming. This profound instinct for care translates directly into the way they choose their pets. They don't want an aloof, indifferent companion. They long for a creature that allows them to pour their love, warmth, and protective instincts into daily life. For Cancer, the ideal pet is one that feels less like an accessory and more like a child, a member of the family who needs affection and thrives under their care. That's why gentle, loving animals like Labrador Retrievers or soft, cuddly bunnies fit Cancer so perfectly. Picture a Cancer walking through an adoption shelter. Their heartstrings tug not at the loudest, boldest animal but at the gentle soul sitting quietly, waiting for affection. That's the one they'll take home, because they don't just want a pet, they want a being they can nurture, someone to love unconditionally and protect from harm. The moment they see those soft eyes or floppy ears, something awakens inside them, the powerful Cancer instinct to mother, to cradle, to shelter. Labradors are perhaps the ultimate match for Cancer. Known for their loyalty, gentleness, and affectionate nature, Labs are family dogs through and through. They'll follow their Cancer owner from room to room, always wanting to be near, always offering companionship. For Cancer, who sometimes struggles with loneliness or mood swings, this unwavering presence is medicine for the soul. At the end of a hard day, nothing comforts them more than a lab resting its head in their lap, radiating quiet loyalty. But it doesn't always have to be a dog. A bunny, with its softness and vulnerability, also speaks to the Cancer heart. Rabbits require gentle care and a calm environment, and in return, they provide affection that feels pure and innocent. A Cancer will gladly spend hours brushing, feeding, or simply holding their bunny, finding joy in the act of giving. For them, this isn't a chore, it's fulfillment. It's how they express the deepest parts of themselves. Cancer's home is their sanctuary, and their pets become an inseparable part of it. Family dinners, cozy nights on the couch, quiet Sunday mornings, all of these are enhanced when a loyal lab or a gentle bunny is part of the scene. Cancer doesn't see pets as separate. They see them as children who deserve the same warmth, care, and belonging as anyone else in the household. That's why a Cancer pet parent is often the one throwing birthday parties for their dog or making homemade treats for their rabbit. To outsiders, it might seem excessive. To Cancer, it's just love. Now imagine Cancer with a reptile or an exotic pet that doesn't like to be held. While some might find that interesting, Cancer would feel unfulfilled. The lack of cuddles, the absence of emotional feedback, would leave them yearning for more. They need to feel needed. They need the softness, the connection, the tangible warmth of fur against their skin. Without that, their nurturing heart has nowhere to pour itself. So when a Cancer comes home after a long day, perhaps feeling the weight of emotions they've absorbed from others, their pet becomes their refuge. The Labrador greets them with wagging tail and unconditional love. The bunny waits quietly for gentle strokes, bringing peace with every twitch of its nose. In these moments, Cancer doesn't just feel like a pet owner, they feel like a guardian, a parent, a protector of something truly precious. And that, more than anything else, is what makes their bond so unshakable. For Cancer, love isn't just an idea. It's a practice, a daily act of care. And when they find a pet that lets them express this side of themselves fully, it's not just companionship. It's destiny written in the stars. Leo, July 23 to August 22. Leos love the spotlight and gravitate toward pets that shine just as bright. Exotic pets, like a colorful tropical fish tank or even a majestic Maine Coon cat, give Leo the dramatic flair they crave. Let's face it, if you're a Leo, you want a pet that makes people go, wow, when they walk into your home. Leo, ruled by the sun itself, is a sign that thrives on radiance, attention, and grandeur. They are natural-born leaders, performers, and curators of beauty in life, and they're rarely satisfied with anything ordinary. For a Leo, everything they touch becomes a reflection of who they are, their wardrobe, their home, their circle of friends, and, yes, their pets. So when it comes to choosing an animal companion, they instinctively gravitate toward creatures that embody presence, elegance, or something unusual enough to turn heads. For Leo, a pet isn't just a quiet addition to the household, it's a co-star in their ongoing show. Imagine walking into a Leo's home. Before you even notice the decor, your eyes are drawn to a vibrant aquarium filled with tropical fish shimmering in colors that rival gemstones. The tank itself is pristine, glowing with carefully chosen lighting, and every fish glides like a piece of living art. Guests pause, captivated, and Leo smiles knowingly, basking in the admiration. This isn't about vanity alone, it's about expression. The aquarium reflects Leo's inner brilliance and need to surround themselves with beauty that others can also enjoy. But perhaps even more fitting for Leo is the Maine Coon cat, often called the gentle giant of the feline world. With its majestic size, luxurious coat, and regal presence, a Maine Coon doesn't just enter a room, it commands it. Much like Leo, this breed loves attention, thrives on admiration, and has an aura of quiet dignity. Picture Leo lounging on the couch, their Maine Coon sprawled beside them like a furry lion, its tufted ears and dramatic mane echoing Leo's own inner lion heart. Guests are enthralled, and Leo beams with pride, feeling that their pet is not just an animal but an extension of their personal majesty. Leos are also deeply affectionate, often misunderstood as only being about drama and showmanship. Beneath the flair lies a warm, loyal, and loving heart that craves connection. That's why their ideal pet has to be more than beautiful, it has to bond deeply with them. A tropical fish tank can mesmerize Leo visually, but the Maine Coon, with its intelligence, loyalty, and playfulness, meets Leo on an emotional level. It doesn't just look stunning, it interacts, communicates, and reflects Leo's own generous spirit. Another truth about Leos: they thrive when they are admired not just for themselves but for their ability to curate beauty for others. When a guest says, "Wow, your cat is incredible," or "That fish tank is breathtaking," Leo doesn't just hear a compliment to the pet. They hear recognition of their taste, their style, and their ability to create an environment filled with wonder. For Leo, pets become part of the theater of life, enhancing the stage on which they shine. Now, imagine Leo with a small, quiet hamster. Yes, hamsters can be adorable, but would they ever deliver the flair Leo needs? Would people gasp at the sight of a hamster wheel tucked in the corner? Hardly. Leo might enjoy the cuteness briefly, but eventually, they'd feel unfulfilled, yearning for a companion that makes a statement. Because for Leo, life is too short for ordinary. They want extraordinary. They are extraordinary. So whether it's the regal Maine Coon or a glowing tank of exotic fish, Leo's perfect pet has one essential quality. It reflects their inner fire and makes the world stop, even if just for a moment, to marvel at its beauty. For Leo, that pause, that wow moment, is not trivial. It's fuel for the soul. Virgo, August 23rd to September 22nd. Virgos are practical, detail-oriented, and love order. They do best with pets that are clean, easy to care for, and intelligent. Think about a well-trained dog like a Shiba Inu, or even smaller pets like hamsters or guinea pigs that fit neatly into their structured lifestyle. A Virgo will happily research the perfect diet and grooming routine, because yes, they care that much. Virgo, ruled by Mercury, is an earth sign known for precision, thoughtfulness, and devotion to details. Unlike Leo, who seeks drama, Virgo seeks harmony through efficiency and order. They want their surroundings to feel balanced, purposeful, and well-maintained. That same principle extends to their choice of pets. Virgo doesn't choose based on flash or flair, they choose based on compatibility with their daily rhythms, their sense of responsibility, and their desire for companionship that doesn't disrupt the systems they've so carefully built. That's why intelligent, disciplined animals like Shiba Inu dogs make such a perfect fit. The Shiba Inu is famously independent, remarkably clean, and naturally well-groomed, which immediately appeals to Virgo's tidy sensibilities. Unlike a rambunctious Labrador or a chaotic terrier, a Shiba Inu won't turn the house into disarray. Instead, it moves with quiet dignity, respecting boundaries and requiring a kind of calm, consistent training that Virgo is more than equipped to provide. For Virgo, this training is not a burden, it's a joy. They love the process of learning, teaching, and refining. Every command the Shiba masters is another small triumph that satisfies Virgo's meticulous nature. But not every Virgo will want the responsibility of a larger pet, and that's where smaller animals like hamsters or guinea pigs come into play. These pets, while modest, fit perfectly into Virgo's structured world. Their enclosures can be kept neat, their routines are predictable, and their care requires consistency, something Virgo excels at. Virgo takes pride in researching the best bedding, the healthiest food, and the optimal cage design, finding satisfaction in knowing they've created a perfect environment for their pet. What others might see as trivial, Virgo sees as meaningful. For them, attention to detail is a love language. And let's not overlook Virgo's deep compassion. Though often portrayed as reserved or overly analytical, Virgos are among the zodiac's greatest caregivers. They express love through acts of service, by making sure everything is done properly, by ensuring safety and comfort. A pet that responds to this kind of devotion, whether it's a Shiba Inu learning new behaviors or a guinea pig thriving in a meticulously cared-for habitat, feeds Virgo's soul. They don't need loud displays of affection. They need the quiet reassurance that their care has made a difference. Now picture a Virgo with a parrot that screams unpredictably at dawn or a bulldog that drools across the floor. For some, those quirks might be charming. For Virgo, they'd be stress-inducing, a disruption to the sense of order they cherish. It's not that Virgo is cold or unloving. They simply need harmony in their home to feel at peace. A chaotic pet throws their balance off, and Virgo values balance above all. But when Virgo finds the right pet, clean, intelligent, manageable, it's a match made in heaven. They thrive in the quiet companionship of a Shiba Inu sitting calmly by their side, or the soft sounds of a guinea pig nibbling happily on fresh greens in a tidy enclosure. These are not grand gestures. They're subtle, consistent rhythms that echo Virgo's own essence. At the heart of it, Virgo doesn't need a pet that dazzles the crowd or steals the spotlight. They need a pet that fits seamlessly into the routines they treasure, a companion that reminds them daily of the beauty found in care, order, and consistency. For Virgo, the greatest joy isn't in extravagance, it's in knowing they've created a world where their pet can thrive, and in turn, where their own heart feels quietly, perfectly fulfilled. Libra, September 23rd to October 22nd. Libras thrive on balance, beauty, and companionship. Their ideal pet is one that brings harmony to their home. A graceful cat or a gentle dog like a greyhound fits beautifully. Libras also love pets that make a statement, so anything with elegance and style is a match. Imagine a Libra walking their sleek Italian greyhound. It's pure aesthetic bliss. Libra is ruled by Venus, the planet of love, aesthetics, and harmony. Everything about this sign leans toward refinement, poise, and creating a sense of equilibrium in their environment. To a Libra, the home isn't simply a place to live. It's a sanctuary where every detail matters: the way light filters through the curtains, the arrangement of books on a shelf, the tone of music playing in the background. Naturally, when it comes to pets, they're drawn to companions that don't just fill space but enhance it, adding grace, charm, and subtle beauty to their world. That's why Libras are often magnetized toward animals with elegance in their very nature. Cats, with their fluid movements and quiet dignity, fit seamlessly into Libra's life. A cat lounging on a windowsill while the sun sets isn't just a pet, it's part of the living artwork of the home. A Libra might watch their cat stretch gracefully across the floor and feel a sense of calm simply from observing its natural elegance. Cats align with Libra's love of balance, independent yet affectionate, mysterious yet approachable. On the other hand, dogs like greyhounds or Italian greyhounds embody the kind of refined beauty Libra adores. Sleek, slender, and carrying themselves with an almost aristocratic air, these breeds make every walk feel like a fashion show. Imagine a Libra strolling through the park in a chic outfit, their Italian greyhound gliding beside them like a model on a runway. Heads turn, conversations start, and Libra's heart swells, not because they crave attention in the Leo sense, but because they love sharing beauty with the world. Their pet becomes an extension of their own refined taste. For Libras, aesthetics are inseparable from companionship. They don't just want a pet that looks good, they want one that feels right. They crave harmony, and that means a pet whose energy brings peace, not chaos. A Libra is unlikely to thrive with a hyperactive dog that barks endlessly or a pet that disrupts the calm of their home. They prefer quiet affection, moments of gentle closeness, the reassurance of a presence that doesn't overwhelm but complements. Yet Libra is also deeply social. They love hosting, entertaining, and sharing their lives with friends and family. A beautiful pet becomes part of this social fabric. Guests arriving at a Libra's home may be greeted by a graceful cat weaving between their legs or a dignified greyhound resting elegantly on the couch. The pet becomes a conversation piece, a shared delight, something that makes gatherings more memorable. For Libra, this is perfect, because balance isn't only about inner peace, it's also about creating beauty that others can enjoy. Now picture Libra with a loud, messy parrot that screams unpredictably or a boisterous bulldog knocking things over. The disruption would jar their delicate sense of order. Libras need symmetry, quiet beauty, and a kind of calm companionship that complements the harmony they're always seeking to build. Without it, they'd feel emotionally off balance, as if their sanctuary had been disturbed. But when they find the right pet, whether it's a sleek Italian greyhound or a feline whose elegance mirrors their own, everything clicks into place. Their home feels complete, their spirit feels soothed, and their social life is enriched by the beauty their pet brings. Imagine again the Libra walking down a tree-lined street, golden leaves falling as the Italian greyhound trots gracefully beside them. The picture is so harmonious, so balanced, it feels like art. For Libra, this isn't just a walk, it's aesthetic bliss, and it's exactly what they were born to experience. Scorpio, October 23rd to November 21st. Mysterious and intense, Scorpios are drawn to pets that reflect their depth. Reptiles, like snakes or lizards, fit their vibe perfectly. Not everyone understands these creatures, but Scorpios thrive on what's misunderstood. Plus, having a pet snake? That's peak Scorpio energy. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto and Mars, planets that govern transformation, power, intensity, and the hidden depths of life. No other sign dives as deeply into mystery as Scorpio. They are not interested in surface-level beauty or shallow connections. They want substance, symbolism, and a relationship that resonates with their profound inner world. This is why when it comes to pets, Scorpio often looks where others don't. They're drawn to the unusual, the misunderstood, and the creatures that others might even fear. Snakes, lizards, and reptiles in general carry an aura of enigma. They are silent, watchful, and primal, qualities that mirror Scorpio's own nature. To most people, a snake may seem intimidating or even unsettling, but to a Scorpio, it's a mirror of their own spirit, quiet, powerful, and endlessly fascinating. Imagine a Scorpio sitting in a dimly lit room, the glow of a terrarium casting shadows across the walls. Inside, a snake coils gracefully around a branch, moving with a fluidity that seems almost otherworldly. For Scorpio, this isn't just a pet, it's a symbol of transformation, rebirth, and the cycles of life, all themes that resonate deeply with their psyche. Lizards, too, appeal to Scorpio for similar reasons. Their sharp eyes, patient stillness, and reptilian grace align with Scorpio's love for subtlety and observation. A lizard doesn't demand constant attention. Instead, it rewards patience, offering moments of quiet connection that feel earned rather than given freely. Scorpios appreciate this dynamic because it mirrors their own relationships with people. They don't trust easily, but when trust is established, the bond is unbreakable. Owning a reptile also aligns with Scorpio's tendency to challenge norms. While others might judge or misunderstand, Scorpio relishes being different. Having a snake as a pet isn't just about aesthetics, it's a declaration of individuality, an embrace of what others fear or overlook. It's peak Scorpio energy, because it encapsulates their defiance of convention and their embrace of the mysterious. Of course, Scorpios' bond with their pet goes beyond appearances. They see layers of meaning where others see only surface. To Scorpio, a snake shedding its skin is not just biology. It's a lesson, a metaphor for personal transformation and renewal. Every moment with their pet becomes an opportunity for reflection, a reminder of life's cycles and the power of change. Now, picture Scorpio with a fluffy, overly playful puppy that craves constant attention. While they could love such a pet, it would never fully resonate with them. The constant noise, the lack of mystery, the surface-level joy, it wouldn't scratch the itch in their soul. Scorpio doesn't just want joy, they want depth, intensity, and an element of the unknown. That's why reptiles are such perfect companions. They challenge Scorpio, intrigue them, and reflect their own complexities. When friends visit and hesitate at the sight of a snake or lizard, Scorpio smiles inwardly, satisfied. Not everyone will understand, and that's exactly the point. Scorpio doesn't live for universal approval. They live for truth, intensity, and bonds that go beneath the surface. In the end, a Scorpio and their reptile form a partnership built on mystery and quiet respect. It's not loud, it's not conventional, but it's powerful. And for Scorpio, who thrives on the hidden, the misunderstood, and the profound, this kind of bond is more than companionship. It's destiny, alive and breathing behind the glass of a terrarium, coiling, shedding, and reminding them of who they truly are. Sagittarius, November 22nd to December 21st. Sagittarius is adventurous, free-spirited, and always chasing the next thrill. They need a pet that can handle adventure, like a big, active dog, think Siberian Husky or Golden Retriever. These dogs love travel, hiking, and exploring, just like their Sag owners. Honestly, a Sagittarius hiking without their dog doesn't even feel right. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, travel, and exploration. This makes them seekers by nature, people who are constantly yearning for experiences that broaden their world. They don't just walk through life, they journey through it with eyes wide open, hungry for discovery. For this reason, their pet must be more than a creature who waits quietly at home. It must be a companion who shares in their adventures, a partner who can keep up with their endless enthusiasm for life on the move. A big, active dog like a Siberian Husky or a Golden Retriever embodies everything a Sagittarius wants in a pet: stamina, loyalty, excitement, and a readiness to leap headfirst into the next big journey. Imagine a Sagittarius planning a spontaneous road trip. They don't overthink it. They throw some clothes into a backpack, grab a map, or more likely, rely on intuition, and hit the road. Beside them in the car is a Husky, nose pressed against the window, eyes alert to every passing landscape, tail thumping in anticipation. Or picture a Golden Retriever bounding happily down a mountain trail, ears flopping, matching the Sag step for step as they climb toward a new horizon. These dogs don't just tolerate Sagittarius's lifestyle, they thrive in it. They're not homebodies, they're wanderers in their own right, built for endurance, exploration, and joy. For Sagittarius, freedom is everything. They can't stand feeling tied down, restricted, or limited. That's why a pet who requires constant indoor care or thrives in stillness wouldn't fit their rhythm. A Sagittarius with a sedentary cat might feel restless, guilty, or stifled. But a dog that loves the outdoors as much as they do, that's perfect harmony. Together, they share the open air, the crunch of leaves underfoot, the thrill of water splashing during a lakeside run. In these shared moments, Sag doesn't just feel like they own a pet, they feel like they've found a fellow traveler. Sagittarius is also known for their optimism and zest for life, and they want a pet who reflects that same energy back to them. Golden Retrievers, with their sunny dispositions and boundless affection, embody Sag's love of joy. A Sag may come home from a long day to be greeted by a wagging tail and sparkling eyes, and in that instant, their spirit feels lifted. With a Husky, the bond is deeper still. Both Sag and Husky crave challenge, whether it's a long run, a snowy hike, or simply the thrill of testing their limits together. There's also the social aspect of Sagittarius to consider. They love meeting new people, exploring new cultures, and broadening their social circle. An active dog is the perfect icebreaker. At a trailhead, in a dog park, or even in a cafe, a Sagittarius with a friendly Golden Retriever or striking Husky instantly attracts conversations. Their dog becomes both a travel companion and a bridge to new connections, something Sag appreciates deeply. Now imagine Sagittarius on a solo hike without their dog. Sure, they'd still enjoy the scenery, but something would feel incomplete. They're not solitary by nature. They're sharers, storytellers, and wanderers who want someone by their side to witness the journey. A dog who leaps over logs, splashes in streams, and curls up tired but happy by the campfire at night completes the picture. For Sagittarius, life is about stories. And what better stories than the ones told with a loyal, adventurous pet right there in the middle of every chapter? Capricorn, December 22nd to January 19th. Disciplined, grounded, and hardworking, Capricorns do best with pets that are loyal and steady. A loyal German Shepherd or even a farm animal like goats or chickens suits them. Capricorns love pets with purpose, not just fluff. If you're a Capricorn, your pet is more than company, it's a partner in your daily grind. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planet of structure, responsibility, and discipline. This gives Capricorns their reputation as builders, providers, and protectors. They see life not as a fleeting adventure but as a series of goals, tasks, and responsibilities that must be honored with dedication. When it comes to pets, this practical and grounded outlook shines through. Capricorns don't look for novelty or extravagance. They look for reliability, loyalty, and, above all, a sense of purpose. A German Shepherd, with its intelligence, loyalty, and protective instincts, is a natural fit. Even farm animals like goats or chickens resonate with Capricorn, because they align with this sign's love of productivity and self-sufficiency. Picture a Capricorn at home on a cold winter morning. While others may still be sleeping, Capricorn is already awake, feeding the chickens or tending to goats before heading out to their day's responsibilities. To them, animals aren't just decorative, they're part of the household economy, part of the structure that keeps life running smoothly. This doesn't mean they lack affection, on the contrary, their love runs deep. But for Capricorn, affection is expressed through care, consistency, and providing. Their pets are woven into their routines, sharing in the rhythm of their daily grind. A German Shepherd, for example, mirrors Capricorn's own values. These dogs are not only loyal and intelligent but thrive on discipline and training. They respect boundaries, respond to consistency, and develop profound bonds with their owners. For Capricorn, this is a dream match. The Shepherd's protective instincts resonate with Capricorn's own role as protector of family and home. Together, they form a team rooted in mutual respect, one that goes beyond simple companionship. Farm animals also speak to Capricorn's pragmatic side. Goats, with their independence and resourcefulness, align with Capricorn's respect for resilience. Chickens, providing eggs daily, symbolize the steady rewards of consistent effort. These animals bring function and purpose into Capricorn's world, creating a sense of productivity that deeply satisfies them. Where other signs might see work, Capricorn sees fulfillment, knowing that the cycle of care and reward is exactly how life is meant to be lived. Capricorns may not always show their affection in grand, dramatic ways, but their love is steady, unwavering, and practical. They're the type to build the best enclosure for their chickens, to research the healthiest diet for their shepherd, to ensure that their goats are well fed and safe from harm. For them, love is responsibility, and their pets thrive under this constant, dependable care. Now, imagine Capricorn with a high-maintenance, unpredictable parrot that shrieks at odd hours or a delicate exotic pet requiring constant fussing with temperature and lighting. While Capricorn could manage, it would feel like unnecessary chaos, a disruption of their carefully built order. What they crave instead is a pet that aligns with their rhythms, one that stands steady beside them as they climb life's mountains. In the end, Capricorn's ideal pet isn't just a source of companionship. It's a partner, a collaborator, an extension of their values. Whether it's the loyal German Shepherd guarding the family or the steady chickens clucking in the yard, these animals remind Capricorn daily of what matters most: loyalty, hard work, and the quiet satisfaction of building something real and lasting. For Capricorn, a pet isn't fluff, it's family, purpose, and a symbol of the steady love that defines their soul. Aquarius, January 20th to February 18th. Aquarius is quirky, innovative, and unpredictable. They're the Zodiac's rebels, so their pets are rarely ordinary. Exotic fish, ferrets, or even unusual reptiles are perfect fits. Aquarius loves being unique, and their pets are just another way to show the world how different and fascinating they truly are. Aquarius, ruled by Uranus, is the visionary of the zodiac. They're the ones who break rules, flip traditions upside down, and see life as an experiment in creativity. For them, pets aren't simply companions, they're extensions of their eccentric, unconventional identity. If most people choose a Labrador or a tabby cat, Aquarius instinctively moves in the opposite direction. They'd rather have something rare, something that makes people stop and say, "Wait, you really have that as a pet?" And when Aquarius hears that reaction, they smile, because nothing delights them more than standing out from the crowd. Exotic fish are a natural fit for Aquarius because they combine beauty, mystery, and complexity. Imagine an Aquarius setting up a glowing tank in their living room, filled with neon tetras darting like electric sparks, or a bed of fish shimmering like a living jewel. It's not just decoration, it's an art installation, a piece of living technology that they've carefully curated. Friends who visit can't help but lean in closer, fascinated, and Aquarius thrives on those moments. The fish become conversation starters, reflections of Aquarius's own love for the unusual and the futuristic. But Aquarius doesn't stop at fish. Ferrets, with their playful, mischievous energy, are another perfect match. These little creatures are unpredictable, endlessly curious, and full of quirks, just like their Aquarius owners. A ferret zipping through tunnels, hiding socks under the couch, or popping its head out from unexpected corners of the house matches Aquarius's love for surprise and delight. Where others might find ferrets chaotic, Aquarius finds them brilliant. They admire animals that mirror their own energy, unpredictable, clever, and impossible to pin down. Then there are reptiles. Lizards, geckos, or even snakes appeal to Aquarius because they're anything but ordinary. They carry an air of mystery, a strangeness that fascinates Aquarius and keeps them engaged. A bearded dragon perched calmly on their shoulder or a gecko climbing glass walls becomes part of Aquarius's personal brand, the rebel who doesn't just adopt a pet but embraces one that challenges societal expectations. To outsiders, Aquarius's pets may seem impractical, but to Aquarius, they're perfect. They aren't looking for the easy choice. They're looking for the choice that sparks conversation, the one that feels original, the one that makes life more colorful and unpredictable. Even the way they care for their pets reflects their innovative streak. Aquarians are likely to research high-tech aquariums, design unique habitats, or invent creative enrichment games for their ferrets. For them, pet ownership is an experiment, a chance to push boundaries and discover new possibilities. Now, picture Aquarius with a typical golden retriever. Sweet? Yes. Loyal? Absolutely. But predictable? Too much. For Aquarius, that predictability would eventually feel dull. They need surprise, challenge, and eccentricity. Their soul craves the joy of explaining, "Yes, that's my pet iguana. Isn't she amazing?" It's not about shock value alone, it's about authenticity. Aquarius truly resonates with pets that embody their individuality, their refusal to conform, their love for all things weird and wonderful. At the heart of it, Aquarius pets aren't just companions. They're statements, pieces of art, living proof of a life lived differently. Whether it's the shimmering glow of exotic fish, the playful chaos of a ferret, or the enigmatic presence of a reptile, their pets reflect what Aquarius loves most: freedom, originality, and a touch of rebellion. Pisces, February 19th to March 20th. Dreamy, emotional, and deeply connected to water, Pisces thrives with calming pets. Fish, especially a serene aquarium, are perfect. But Pisces also connects with soft, loving pets like rabbits or rescue cats. Anything that helps them express their compassion and creativity fits their soul. Pisces doesn't just have pets, they form spiritual bonds with them. Pisces, ruled by Neptune, is the dreamer of the Zodiac, the poet whose soul swims in the currents of imagination, empathy, and boundless love. Their connection to animals runs deep because Pisces doesn't just see a pet as a pet, they see a soul. For them, every whisker twitch, every tail flick, every ripple in an aquarium carries meaning. Their pets become confidants, healers, muses, and companions in a way that transcends the physical. For Pisces, animals aren't just companions, they're spiritual mirrors. It's no surprise, then, that Pisces often gravitates toward aquariums. Watching fish swim gracefully through water feels like meditation, like returning home to their natural element. Imagine a Pisces sitting quietly by the glow of a tank, the world outside chaotic but their inner world soothed by the rhythmic dance of shimmering fish. Each bubble rising, each flash of color becomes part of a silent symphony that calms their heart. The aquarium isn't just a hobby, it's therapy, art, and connection all at once. But Pisces also craves softness, warmth, and touch. That's where pets like rabbits or rescue cats come in. Rabbits, with their gentle nature, appeal to Pisces' tender side. They're delicate, affectionate, and quietly magical, perfectly suited for a sign that thrives on subtlety and emotion. Rescue cats, too, speak to Pisces' boundless compassion. Pisces loves the idea of giving a home to an animal that has known hardship, of transforming pain into love. They see beauty in healing, in second chances, in building a bond that feels destined. For Pisces, caring for a pet is never just about feeding and cleaning, it's about emotional connection. They'll write poems about their cat, paint pictures inspired by their rabbit, or simply spend hours daydreaming while watching their fish. Their creativity finds endless fuel in their pets, because animals, for Pisces, embody the purest forms of love and inspiration. Pisces also needs pets that calm rather than overwhelm. A high-energy dog might exhaust them, but a quiet, affectionate companion matches their rhythm. They seek animals that allow them to escape the noise of the world, creatures that turn their home into a sanctuary. In those moments of stillness, stroking soft fur, gazing into gentle eyes, or watching water ripple, they feel spiritually recharged. Now imagine Pisces with a demanding, hyperactive parrot that screams all morning. For some, that might be amusing, but for Pisces, it would feel jarring, pulling them out of their dreamy flow. They need peace, serenity, and emotional depth, not constant disruption. Their ideal pet is one that flows with them like a gentle current, not one that stirs up storms. At their core, Pisces doesn't just love pets, they merge with them. They form bonds that feel almost telepathic, understanding their animals' moods and emotions as if by instinct. A Pisces stroking their cat's fur isn't just showing affection, they're sharing energy, healing themselves as much as the animal. Their pets become muses, companions, and fellow travelers in the dreamscape of life. For Pisces, the aquarium, the rabbit, the rescue cat, these aren't just animals. They're vessels of love, reminders that compassion is the highest art. In their presence, Pisces feels whole, creative, and deeply connected to the unseen threads that bind all living beings together. So, what do you think? Did your zodiac sign's pet soulmate match your current best friend? Or did the stars just inspire you to add a new companion to your life? If you loved this astrological journey, make sure to hit like, subscribe for more zodiac insights, and check out the links in the description for even more cosmic content. And hey, maybe share this with a friend to see if their pet destiny lines up with the stars too. When you pause for a moment and really think about it, isn't it fascinating how the zodiac can weave its way into something as personal and joyful as choosing a pet? Maybe you were nodding along the whole time, recognizing your Labrador's loyalty in your Capricorn spirit, or maybe you laughed as your Gemini self realized why chatting with your parrot feels like a match made in the heavens. Or perhaps the stars just planted a new seed in your imagination, an image of hiking with a golden retriever, meditating by a fish tank, or bonding with a mysterious reptile that mirrors your depth. The magic of astrology isn't just about prediction, it's about reflection. It's about holding up a mirror and asking, does this feel true to me, and could it open the door to something new? That's why this journey through the zodiac and their perfect pets feels so much more than entertainment. For some of you, it may have affirmed the bond you already share with your beloved companion, showing you that the universe had its fingerprints on that match all along. For others, it may have sparked curiosity. Maybe you've been dreaming of adding a pet to your life, and suddenly the stars whispered an idea that feels just right. Whether you already share your home with a loyal, loving animal or you're standing on the threshold of finding one, this cosmic alignment might be the nudge you didn't know you needed. Now, if this adventure through signs and soulmates spoke to you, don't let the journey end here. Tap that like button. It tells the algorithm, yes, more of this cosmic magic, please. Subscribe so you'll never miss the next astrological insight, whether it's about love, career, friendships, or, just like today, how the stars shape the sweetest parts of our daily lives. And of course, wander down into the description box. You'll find links waiting there to take you even deeper into the world of astrology, pets, and all things written in the stars. And here's the fun part, share this video with a friend. Not just because it helps the channel, but because it's genuinely delightful to see if their pet destiny lines up with their zodiac essence. Imagine sending this to your Libra best friend and watching them laugh when the Italian greyhound fits them perfectly, or forwarding it to your Scorpio sibling and hearing them admit that, yes, a snake really does feel like their spirit animal. These little revelations don't just make for good conversation, they build connections, spark joy, and remind us that astrology is about community as much as it is about individuality. So whether you're cuddling your cat, walking your dog, feeding your chickens, or watching fish glide silently in their aquarium, remember this: the stars are always whispering, always guiding, and sometimes they show up in the form of the furry, feathered, or scaled companions that walk, or swim, beside us. This journey doesn't end with the zodiac. It continues every day in the love you share with your pets, the lessons they teach you, and the comfort they bring. If your heart feels a little lighter, if your imagination feels a little brighter, then the stars have already done their job. And trust me, you won't want to miss what they reveal next.